Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharks VR. I'm bringing to you today a different video, kinda from what I'm used to. As you can tell, I have not been posting recently, and it will definitely be explained why I haven't been posting recently. Um, I just I don't know how to feel with the current state of VR games. It kind of feels dull. It kind of feels a little boring. Yes, there are some games that you can play that are fun, but over time, like I want to be able to play some of my favorite games, that like I'm used to playing, but it seems like it's nearly impossible to do so. You know, I'm not gonna be strictly talking about Ghost of War, Contractors Expo Zone, or even the new one that's coming out soon, Veil. I will definitely touch on them, but it's getting really sad to see how the state of VR gaming is right now. Truly, this is just going to be a rant about how disgusting it is, how pitiful it is, how sad it is that we have these development teams and these companies that are making VR games and stuff like that, getting hype and everything like that for making a flat screen copy of a video game, just for us to play and then complain about it 2 days later and then still play it, which gets absolutely nothing done. It's crazy. Like, I see people making excuses for every type of video game out there that's in VR, and like I don't know. It's very sad. Like it makes no sense for someone to criticize a game, beat it, bash it, whatnot, and all of a sudden just play it a day later. Like, if you truly don't like a game, if you truly want the game to improve, like, speak on your improvements. If you think they're doing something that's unethical, something that cheaters don't like, don't play the game, because then you're just going to create a negative space for not only yourself but the community as a whole. Plain example, Ghost of War. People hate on Ghost of War. People hate on how they do business. They hate on how they're trying to get their money. They hate on the game's physics. The game is probably in a broken state right now. I haven't played it in a minute. I haven't kept up with some of the updates after the last major update with leaning and stuff, which I'm glad they brought in, but it broke the game. That update broke the game. Plain point, period. I'm just saying, like, people don't like how they do business, with the whole DLC thing, everything like that. But people still tend to buy it and play it. If you want something to change, just don't buy it or play it. Like, if you want them to find a new way to make their money, don't buy the stuff that they're selling. Because then they're just going to keep on doing, because they know you're just going to buy it. The same thing that flat screen people, console players, go through with 2K. If you're a sports head, people complain about the transactions, microtransactions, the VC costs, the how much VC costs to make a player, but people still play it and buy it every year. They're going to continue to do the same thing. It's the same way with Combat Waffle or with any game in VR that does this, which is funny, because speaking of, I was trying to play Veil the other day on a new system. I had to buy it, blah blah blah. Well, I didn't buy it. I got the free version. Came to realize that I need to spend like $25-$30, I think, to play it. I don't know if I'm exaggerating, but it was over $20 to play the PvP version. That got me thinking, I'm most likely probably going to have to pay for the extraction version as well. If I'm not, like, if I'm misunderstanding something, that's what Ghost of War is doing with their game. Their DLCs, obviously, some come with like gun packs, skins, charms, whatever. But people just bash them over the PvE thing, saying like, "Why do we have to pay for this?" Blah blah blah. But in Veil, you can't even play online without paying for it. Like, you can get the free version. You're just gonna be bored out of your mind playing by yourself and going to the shooting range and doing some practice mode with some random people that's not even an actual game. And then you're going to have to pay for the extraction shooter as well. That's from what I'm getting from. I don't know if you have to pay for the extraction shooter. I'm pretty sure you do, unless you have the PvP version. I don't know. Leave in the comments like how that's gonna work if y'all know. But truthfully, it's the same thing. Same thing, but Veil isn't getting bashed. Ghost of War got bashed. It's I don't know. Like, I don't know whether it's the communities that is just making VR gaming terrible. I don't know if it's the developers that is making the game terrible. Truthfully, I feel like it's both. I feel like the developers aren't as creative as they need to be to making video games. The excuse is not because the hardware is probably garbage. It's minimalistic. It's not that, because you have different VR hardware as well. Not only that, it's not like flat screen games have always been on this amazing hardware that had the most intense graphics, the best looking things, everything was stable. No, it's just the creativity of these developers isn't there. They're trying to make games and still ideas from flat screen 2-dimensional games, or not 2-dimensional, but flat screen games, to put into VR, hoping that we play it, that we love it, hoping that they get it right, when realistically they're just copying someone else's idea, not knowing the full plan of what is going on. It's ridiculous. Like, I truly don't understand it. Like, for Veil, for example, their map got leaked, I think last week or some time ago, and I looked at it before Jakey Pants put it on his YouTube thing, that it looked exactly like Delta Force's map, which is mind-boggling to me, because you're supposed to be this new extraction shooter as they come in, take the plane by storm, take over, jump ahead of Exfil Zone and Ghost Tabor. But realistically, you're just copying the little brother of Tarkov and Arena Breakout, which are the two games that Tabor and Exfil Zone are based off of. You're coming into the gaming industry, coming into the extraction shooter field as the worst of the three games. It makes no sense. Hopefully you don't play like Delta Force. Like, Delta Force isn't bad, but if you had to pick out of those three games, Delta Force will probably be the last option. So it's like, extraction shooters as a whole right now, awful. For VR, extraction shooters is awful. All three of the games, or the 2.5, or not even, like, all the games are halfway done. Like, Veil can't play right now. Obviously, it's not fully done yet. Exfil Zone, yeah, it was good in the moment because they had stuff that Ghost Tabor didn't have, but it still has its major problems. Same with Ghost Tabor. They were the first of its kind in VR, but they have real major problems that they don't like to address. So extraction shooters out the window. If you want to play extraction shooters on VR, have fun. You're going to ruin your mental sanity by 10 times 10. It's awful. But yes, you do have games that are like creative and stuff like that, but they're like your basic games, a lot of times they are ruined by the community. Like Gorilla Tag is such a great idea. It's only for VR, and I like how they're doing it. It's just the community within Gorilla Tag gets so annoying and overwhelming that it's hard for me to play. Like, it's not a bad game. It's a really good creative game. That's why it's still very popular. It's just the community gets annoying. It gets in the way and stuff like that. There's this F1 game I also found that I like playing, Formula X, but I don't know if the developers don't know how to add AI or what, or promote the game, but it's just boring when I'm driving around a track by myself. So it makes no sense. What else? I'm trying to think of other games that I've played that just run dry. Like Bone Labs is fun. But I can't play it after a certain period of time. It's just pretty much like I can experiment different things, but once you experiment with everything, it's just like, okay, I've already done all this, But it's VR gaming is just such a bad spot right now. And don't make the excuse, oh, it's the games you play, when I've played almost every VR game that I've tried. Or like even I have people tell me that's like in my circle that plays these VR games. Like even VR YouTubers tell me that it's just dry right now. It's not good. The gaming industry for VR is bad right now. It's awful. But people just don't want to accept it, and it's sad, you know? So don't make the excuses like, oh, it's the games you play. When I've talked to multiple different creators that play multiple different games, it's not the hardware, because there's been good games, fun, entertaining games on bad softwares. Like it's not the software. The software doesn't necessarily make the game. You can make a good game with a bad software. It's I'm just tired of the excuses, man. I'm tired of giving these like development teams and these companies just so much excuses, and I don't know. I don't know how many times I can say I'm tired of it. Like I've been so drained of trying to figure out what to talk about without seeming so negative about a video game, but it's gotten to a point where my calmness is going to just be my outburst. Like I want these games to do so much better. I love seeing these games thrive, especially extraction shooters. I love playing extraction shooters. Like I still play Tarkov. I still play Arena Breakout because I love extraction shooters. It's a fun, innovative game that I can play tactically, or I can goof around and run around and just troll people. You know? So it's like I want to see these games do well. I just hope people can become more creative. I hope these development teams can be better. I hope they can actually listen to communities. I hope they can actually keep a consistent fan base. I hope they're able to keep consistent updates. I just hope for the best for everything. I just don't know if I should get my hopes up for anything. Vel VR has already lost all my interest. Lost it all. I don't ever want to talk about it unless they change something completely that just makes it amazing off rip that Expo Zone doesn't have or Tabor doesn't have. Then maybe I'll talk about it. But Veil is out the window for me. I'm sorry. It's completely just out the window for me. Out the window. Goes Tabor. Out the window as of right now. Because I just can't. I can't with Ghost Tabor. The bugs, the glitches, the last two major updates have felt rushed, and I talked to this with my friends and people that I like have talked to, even people that I want to make content with. I've said this, both of the last two major updates have felt so rushed to me. So rushed. And I'm very just sad. Like, it's sad to say that because I know these development teams put time and effort into it, but I just feel like it was just pushed out. It felt rushed. Like you're slacking off for 1/4 of the term that you're supposed to be making the update. As soon as it's time to release the update, you're like, oh snap, I have an assignment due, a major project due in 2 weeks. I gotta get this done. And now it's just rushed. And now it's glitches and bugs that should have been caught in testing that wasn't caught. You know, so it's like, I don't know. It's I hope this is not gonna be edited at all. Like, I don't care if you can hear me breathing. I don't care about the ums. I don't care about the pauses. This is just very, very sad to see. Very sad to see. I want creators to be, I want these development teams to just be creative, release something that is different, that's not just a wannabe carbon copy from a flat screen game. I don't know, man. I don't know if any of it can be done, because I feel like at this moment, game developers for VR is just money hungry, and that's all it feels like. It's just money hungry, trying to get the most people to play the game for a short period of time, and then try to make something else that is going to pop off, or try to pop off to copy another flat screen game, you know. And That's just what it feels like at the moment. It's just a rinse and repeat. You know, maybe I'm not that hardcore of a VR person that I thought I was. You know, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm the problem. At the end of the day, VR gaming is completely garbage at the moment. It is in one of the worst states I've seen it be since the first time VR released. I had like at this point in its like career, VR gaming should be still climbing. I feel like right now it's at a decrease. Like I feel like it's truly at just like a decrease. I feel like that it's not going to be doing anything anytime soon. I don't see any new game that's being promoted that well that's just gonna like enhance the VR gaming experience. You know, with the Meta Quest 3 out and everything like that, it runs good. Like the software in the Quest 3 is a really good software, but I don't see anything coming about how using the software or what like I don't know. I'm speaking on my ass right now and it's irritating me. I'm just trying to come up with solutions to help these game development companies that probably won't even listen to this. But I hope this reaches the right audience because it's just very irritating seeing this awful drought of VR gaming. I can't play any game without it being squeaker annoyed. Like, I can't play any game that's going to either annoy me or is just boring or it's got no player base, has no online features. I'm by myself playing it. You know, like there's certain games that I would only play, you know, solo player. But in a racing game, why am I by myself on a track? Like, it makes no sense. Either promote your game better or add AI so I can actually race against AI. Bone Labs has been out for a while. Yes, they have made updates and everything like that. It's still a good game. I'm not saying that it's a bad game. It just gets redundant over time. It gets repetitive. You know, let's take Population 1 for example. It gained its popularity and traction because it was the first battle royale on VR, added building and everything like that. How Fortnite was with a mixture of kind of like Apex, but it died down. Like, you don't hear about Population 1 anymore. You know why? Because even though it's the first of its kind, it wasn't creative. It didn't keep, like, you can't keep a player base if you're just copying something else. Like, it makes no sense. Flat screen games, yes, you can take an idea. Battle Royale is an idea. Extraction shooter is an idea. It's not like copying the whole map and saying, here, play this map that you already played on flat screen. It's just going to be a little different because it's in VR. No, that's not. Like, if I'm making a battle royale, I'm making it different from what Apex and Fortnite is. That's what Fortnite did from PUBG. Fortnite made a battle royale that was different than PUBG. It added creative aspects. Same thing with Apex. Apex added creative aspects, even though it was in competition with Fortnite. These games on VR, game development teams don't know how to do that. And it's just irritating to see. I don't know what else to say. I'm just irritated. I'm irritated to who knows. I'm irritated to only God. Like, only God knows how irritated I am. And I just want these development teams to do better. I want them to become more creative with what they have. And if they can't do that, then I'm not playing the game. That's it. Let me know what y'all want to hear next. I might be playing some flat screen games. Maybe I'll even do some Pokemon. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon recently, so I might like do that, you know? But in the meantime, I'll catch y'all later. I hope you have a blessed rest of y'all's day. Peace.